Hey, good morning, everyone. How is everyone doing today? How are you guys doing today? Hey, this is Gregory Wiles coming live to you from Houston, Texas, with his inspirational morning walk. Once again, for first-time listeners, I get some exercise in the mornings, and I share my thoughts with you guys, whatever I'm inspired to talk about. I'll sit in the vehicle here, get this out, and then I'll go and continue my exercise program. Good morning, Jillian. Good morning, Jillian. Hey, man, good morning, Tessa. Good morning, cuz. How are you doing? How are you doing? I missed you for the past few days. Yes, but hey, I don't know about you guys, man, but in Houston here, it's starting to cool down. Today, it's like the 60s. We starting to cool down here now, so I got to enjoy my little some outfits. I can't be in it every day now. I got to start potting up pretty soon, but that's all good. That's all good. That's all good. We enjoying the little cool weather here. We don't get as cold as you guys up north and all of that, so our little coolness, we welcome it. But yes, so today what I want to talk about, today, this little passage I'm going to go over, it's a lot of little teachable moments I'm going to pick out here and there, some, but the main focus I want to get is about putting your confidence, where you should place your confidence when you're doing certain things, right? Where you should place your confidence when you're doing certain things. But there's a lot of little teachable moments. When you're reading from 2 Samuel 24, 1 through 13, this is when David took a census of Israel, when David took the census of Israel. And that's why a lot of times you say the Bible is confusing, because we read here David take the census and this was he sinned. And it's like, why he take a census and it's a sin? Why it's a sin, right? But we can go for a lot of little teachable moments in here. But the main thing I want to focus on is where you're putting your confidence, right? Where you should place your confidence and the motive behind when you do certain things, right? So let's jump into this here. Let's jump into this. It's 2 Samuel 24, 1 through 13, I'm reading through, right? So once again, the anger of the Lord burned against Israel, and he caused David to harm them by taking a census. You see, God was upset with Israel, right? So he caused David, which was the king, to harm them by taking a census. He said, go count the people of Israel and Judah. The Lord told him, right? So he said, the anger of the Lord burned against David, and he caused him to harm them by taking a census. So, we can get into why is that. But if you look at 1 Chronicles 21:1, which give an account of the same issue, and it said, Satan rose up against Israel and caused David to take a census of the people of Israel. It said Satan rose up against Israel, right? So this should give us some comfort here, because 2 Samuel said God was angry at Israel. And he, some translations say he incited David to take this census to harm them. So right away here you can see, you can take comfort in the devil cannot do nothing to you without God giving him permission to do it. Right? And the only way God can give him permission to harm you in any way is if you breaking the law, and if he's upset with you because you're breaking the law. That's why they call the enemy the accuser of the brethren. He got to go to God and say, hey, God, look at this one here. Look at Gregory. Look at Tom. Look at Johnny. They're breaking this particular law. God, look at it. Yep. Okay, go ahead. Now you got permission to go ahead and carry out the punishment for that law. Right? So the enemy cannot jump on us and do us nothing without us giving him permission by breaking God's law. That's number one I want to point out there. Right? God is upset with Israel, and they says Satan rose up. Only way Satan rose is God give him permission, because he's the one who's going to do these, afflict these punishments on you. That's Satan's job, but God got to give permission to do it, right? So let's get out. There's one little teachable moment there I want to get through, right? They say, go count these people. So why are you taking a census? Why God telling them, go and take a census to harm them by taking a census? So let's get into that now. So the king said to Joab and the commanders of the army, take a census of all the tribes of Israel, from Dan to the north of Beersheba in the south, so I may know how many people are there. So the king tell his army commander, go and count the people. Go and count these people from Dan to the north to Beersheba in the south, so I may know how much people there are. But Joab replied to the king, may the Lord your God let you live to see 100 times as many people as there are now. But why, my lord, the king, do you want to do this? Joab, his army commander, said, bro, you sure you want to do this? You know the consequences of taking a census, right? So why you want to do this? Why you want to take a census? But the king insisted that they take the census. So Joab and the commanders of the army went out to count the people of Israel. So in some other translations said David word override Joab word, because the army commander was saying, hey bro, check yourself. You sure you want to do this? This is against God's will for us to take a census. You sure you want to take a census? You know what trouble you're going to cause, right? But the king insisted that they take the census. So Joab and the commanders of the army went out to count the people of Israel. First they crossed the Jordan and camped at Aor, south of the tongue of the valley in the direction of Gad. Then they went out to Jazeer, then to Gilead, then to the land of Tatum Hadish, and to Dan Jan, and around to Sidon. Then they came to the fortress of Tyre and all the tongues of the Hivites and the Canaanites. Finally, they went to the south of Judah as far as Beersheba. Having gone through the entire land for 9 months and 20 days, they returned to Jerusalem. Joab reported the number of people to the king. There were 800,000 capable warriors in Israel who could handle a sword, and 500,000 in Judah. So now they get the census of we count them. But the reason, see, God don't want people to take a census, and this is why the message I want to get home to people. The census, right? Because the reason why, his motive for taking this census was because he wanted to know how much fighting men he got. He told them not to count the men under 20, because I think under 20, they never used to let them fight in the armies over 20. So he wanted to know how the strength of his army, right? That's his reason for taking the census, of his motive. He wants to know what's the strength of his army. So he know he got 1 million people now. If I coming up a nation, the strength of the army is just 100,000, or I could overpower them. This much. When God said, no. It does not matter the size of your army. What's going to matter in a battle is me. I got the ultimate decision. You could have one man go up against 1 million, and the one man could whoop you. Because once I sanction it, and I said that one man is going to win, he's following my laws, my decrees, I'm the one who got a final say. So once you start to depend on the strength of your army, you casting me aside now. You saying you don't have confidence in me no more to win your battles. You putting the confidence in your army. So that's why the census was wrong. Right? You want why is it wrong? That's why. Because he wants to know the strength of his army. And God's saying you don't need to know the strength of your army. Your strength of your army does not matter. What matters is you're putting your confidence in me, you follow my laws, my decrees, and you're going to win any battle. You're going to win any battle. So that's the point I want to get home to people today. Don't worry with the size of your bank account. Don't worry with all these people who you know. Don't worry with all the physical things that you have that you thinking can give you an advantage. Yes, they can give you a physical advantage, but God saying without my permission, you could got all those advantages and you still don't get what you need if you're not doing my law. If I don't say you're going to get it because I think you're deserving of it, because you're following the law and doing it, so you're not going to get it no matter how much physical advantages you have. Right? Don't matter how much physical advantages you have. If you're not doing the right thing and I decide you're not going to get that, it doesn't matter. You're not going to get it. Remember the scripture says, seek ye first the kingdom and his righteousness, and then all these things should be added unto thee. That's in Matthew 6:33, right? So he's saying, don't worry with the size of your bank. Don't worry about all these physical stuff you got. And that's why the problem with money, why he said it's harder for the rich man to go to heaven, because it's not the money. Because people think when they got this money, they're so powerful. And they start worshiping the money instead of keeping the focus on him, because this money gives them this earthly power. People got more respect for you if you got all this money. God saying, no. You know what? You could got all that, and it's still not going to do you no good. because I got the final say into anything, right? So that's why this taking this census, his motive for taking this census was wrong. But look what it did, and this is the next teachable moment I want to bring out here. Look what it did. So after he took the census, he get his count. Now we in 2 Samuel 24:10. But after he had taken the census, David conscience began to bother him. Now, you know different, right? But see, God allowed the enemy to influence him to take the census because he want to inflict punishment on his people that he was mad with. Remember how it started out? Once again, the anger of the Lord burned against Israel, and he caused David to take the census so he could harm them. Again, this is another teachable moment. And that's why God honor his own plans and his own rules. Because you said, this is God, why you can't do this and you don't need us? Because he got rules. He got rules. And he got to follow his own rules. Right? Why God upset with his people? Why he got to cause David to have this census so he could punish them? Why you just don't come down and just whip them or just send some spiritual whips and just whip everyone? But no. He wouldn't do that because he set up these rules and he followed his own rules. You see, for him to get to punish his people, he got to break one of the rules. One of the rules got to be broken, and now he got permission. Now he could go and harm the people the way he want to harm them. But he's just not going to do it like that because he set up rules. He said, for me to punish you, you got to break in the law. That's the only time I can give the enemy the permission for whoop you, if you break the law. It's just like it's not right for the police to stop you and without no cause. Right? The police, it's wrong. A lot of them do it, but it's wrong. They just can't see me and say, oh, I'm just look suspicious for the way I dress or the way I look. Come over here and let me interrogate you. It's wrong for them to do that. They have to have a reason. They have to have a reason, right? And that's the same thing here. God's not going to come down and whoop you and punish you if you don't have a reason to do it. If you're not breaking the law. So he had to get the king, because he know the king control all the people. The king control the land. So if I get the king to break this law, now I got permission to do what I want to do within his kingdom. Right? So let's see how this play out now. But after that, he's taken the census. David's conscience began to bother him. And he said to the Lord, I have sinned greatly by taking this census. Please forgive my guilt, Lord, for doing this foolish thing. So now God wants to whip his people how the way you want to whip it. And here he said now. So the next morning, the word of the Lord came to the prophet Gad, who was David's seer. This was the message. Go and say to David, this is what the Lord says. I will give you 3 choices. One of these punishment, and I will inflict it on you. So God said, okay, I can give you the choice. How you want me to punish your people? How you want me to punish these people that I was so mad with? Right? And once they're so mad, when God upset with you, most likely you're breaking his law, you're following other gods, and you want to get back your attention, right? So God came to David and asked him, will you choose 3 years? This is the choices he got. Will you choose 3 years of famine throughout your land, 3 months of fleeing from your enemies, or 3 days of severe plague throughout your land? Think this over and decide what answer I should give the Lord who sent me. So now, he got to choose. Either one is severe punishment. Will you choose 3 years of famine throughout your land? I mean, people got to be starving, not enough food. 3 months of fleeing from your enemies. So your enemies going to be chasing you 3 months. You're going to lose people along the way. Or 3 days of severe plagues throughout the land. He got to choose the worst of the 3 evils now for the punishment because he broke the law. He sinned against God by holding this census, right? So, you see, sometimes when God, something's happening, right? Something's happening. It's because God trying to get attention. People break the law and all that. You see, sometimes you wonder why some stuff happening. You might not see physically why, but God knows why. And he caused their own leader. He caused their leader to commit this sin so he can get permission to do this, people. So the message here today is a lot of little teachable moments, right? Well, the major one I want to focus on is that no matter what you got, is the Lord saying, look, I still got the final say. You want to go to the battle and win? When David going to kill the Goliath, David was a little boy and he going to still destroy Goliath where the whole armies was running from, right? A lot of these wars when Israel was coming up against these big nations, Jericho and all them, they didn't even have to lift a finger. He tell them march around the city 7 times, then shout, then the wall fall. So he's saying, do not matter with your size of your army. It doesn't matter with your size of your bank account. It doesn't matter all the friends. It doesn't matter what you know. I could give you the victory. If you seek me and do my laws, I can give you the victory. So don't put your confidence in the things that you have. Put your confidence in me, not in what you have. So David, you was wrong. And the churches do this. Now, see the motive when churches go into certain areas and they're doing these census and they're doing the surveys and see if there's a good place to go. Now, if they want to increase membership because they want to direct more people to God, it's not a problem for them to do all of that stuff, what they're doing, and seeing the people in the neighborhood. But if they just want to increase membership, to increase the money that's coming to the church, now that becomes a problem. Your motive. What's your motive? What's your motive to go in certain neighborhoods to build your church? What's your motive? Is it to spread the word of God to more people that need it? Or is it because this particular place can get you more money? You increase your membership by 500. I mean, if everybody show $500, you could increase you increase the money where you get in by X amount. If that's the motive, to make these members paying customers rather than spreading the word, it's a problem. It's the same thing. Where you're doing all these surveys and paying this money for to see what's going on and all of these things, right? So this is the message today. I want to mainly focus on a couple of messages. Is that the enemy can't do you anything without you breaking the law. Maurice Agrippa, good morning. Nor doesn't matter with your physical possessions and what you got and what you know. It's still, the battle is still the Lord. He gonna give you victory, not the things that you got. So do the right thing. Follow the laws, and you can always stay protected under his cover. All right, I'm going to leave it there today, guys. I'm going to leave it there today. Have yourself a great day, and we'll talk again on Friday. All right, goodbye.